Hello, welcome to Pedalboards of Doom. My name's Lee and today we're going to be demonstrating the Thorpy FX Chain Home, which is a tremolo pedal. The controls are such that we have a tone, a depth, a rate and a boost, because quite often with tremolos you get a perceived drop in volume because half of what you're hearing is usually cut out. This is based on a very old tremolo from the 80s or 70s, one of the two. I believe it was a Vox, and it's also Thorpy, so you can tell that it's going to have very high-end quality components, very high build quality, recessed controls, so you don't knock them when you're playing. Today we will be using the Les Paul. We're going to be playing through the Marshall JCM 2000. Going to be using it clean. Got a switching system down here. We're using a Boss ES5. So all the pedals that are going through there, instead of being in series, are going to be true bypassed with that. So any other pedals we put in aren't going to be affecting the signal. So the first setting we've got on here is a very subtle tremolo. It's there to give a little bit of movement. It's very nice for jazzy sort of chords. So we'll play with that. Okay, let's see how it sounds with another type of guitar. So now we've got a hollow body. This is a Gretsch Electromatic. Let's put some overdrive on that. Now let's increase the depth and see how we get on with that. Okay, so now I'm going to play through my trusty little Strat and let's see how some single coils sound and the small humbucker. Let's see how that sounds with the tremolo. Yeah, that's that's quite a nice rock tone. I know the tremolo was up quite harsh, but some people like that. It's almost like playing with a drummer, where you know you go to 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, or 1 2 3, whatever you want. You know, it's a tremolo, it's not a metronome, but it can give you a nice little pattern to play along to. If we turn that down a little bit, it'll be a bit more subtle, but I want you to hear it, so you can hear how it sounds. And even when it is pushing a little bit more, it's still musical. And that's one of the things we really like about this pedal, is just how musical it actually is. I said it before and I'll say it again, certain pedals are more musical than others. There's the Boss CE2, for instance. So the example that everyone would use would be, well, this. Oh my god, I love that pedal, and it's so musical. But coming back to what I was saying, the musical pedals like the CE2, the Chain Home fits into that. It really does. It's a nice pedal. On the contrast with that, another pedal I've got on the board here, the Harmonies Pedal. Oh, it does what it does, but it's not a musical pedal. You know, it sounds digital, it sounds pushed. You can get away with it if you're using an overdriven sound, really high gain, but you know, you've got to play with that and blend it in perfectly to get the it to sound even close to musical. With things like the CE2 and the Chain Home, you don't even have to try, they just do it. I'm going to be changing that Harmonist in, I think, for probably a POG 2. I've tried a lot of, you know, those sort of pedals, and that's the one that I think sounds the best out of the lot. The Carbon Copy, really lovely delay, another musical pedal. Not always the best to use in a live situation, but you know, for recording purposes and that, beautiful pedal. So yeah, you know, it's one of those pedals that I'm most likely going to get that. I'm 99% sure that I'm going to buy a Chain Home, because there isn't a tremolo that I've tried that does it better. Okay, so now we're back on the trusty old Les Paul. I love this guitar. What we'll do is we'll try a couple of other sort of sounds, just chuck in a few little licks here and there, and just see what we can come up with. We're going to play with the tone control and see if we can get it to match the sound of the overdrive. For this, I'm going to use the Brexit Means Brexit pedal and the tremolo. And what we'll do is we'll see what the Brexit Means Brexit sounds like, see what the tremolo sounds like, and see what happens when we muck around with the tone. See if we can get it to sound more or less, depending on what we want, like the actual overdrive. Let's see what happens. Blown away by that. I don't know about you guys, I thought that sounded awesome. One of the keys to any pedal is noise. We've all experienced it, where you plug a pedal in and all of a sudden you get and you're thinking, oh, come on, you know, that's really going to affect my tone. It's going to affect everything that comes through. And when you've got the you know, no sound going on, you've got the singer and the bass player doing, you know, their little bit, and you're sitting there in the background and you're not supposed to be playing anything, and you've got going on, you're like, shut up. Or what do? You turn your pedal off, and then you're waiting to come in, you're waiting to come in, and you don't just come in, you've got to hit your pedal as well, because if you don't, you've got a no, I'm not turning into a snake. Oh, worst joke ever. Right. But that is a pain in the backside. So one of the keys to avoiding this is to use higher end components, and that's what Thorpy does. Very proud of it as well. So they've gold etched PCBs. None of the controls are mounted to the PCB either, so that means when you're plugging your jacks in, when you're plugging your power in, you're not breaking the board like you would get on a lot of the Line 6 stuff that's famous for it. One of my friends actually had to fix his Line 6 pedal the other day because of that. You know, but with this you won't get any of that. So that's, you know, it's a pretty good thumbs up. In terms of functionality, really good. Got extra controls you wouldn't find on a Trem normally. Downsides, no MIDI. That would be nice, but Thorpy don't do that. You know, that's not what Thorpy about. If you want MIDI, you go for, you know, other companies that use MIDI, analog and digital mixture. That's not what you get with Thorpy FX pedal. Why are they so popular? Because they're so bloody good. You know, not everything has to have all the bells and whistles. So, but that's one downside. It is a clicky switch, so a lot of people now are using non-clicky switches, a bit like the Boss stuff, so you don't hear that when it turns on and off. Most people now use switches, you know. They're non-clicky, so you know, if you've got it plugged into a switch, you don't notice the difference anyway. But to be fair, I'm being really picky, really picky, because I want to show that I'm not just picking on all the things that are good about it. Another good thing, top mounted jacks. I like that because you can put your pedals closer together. Thank you for joining us. If you've got any questions about this, put them in the comments section, ask them on the group, and I will answer them. Okay, well, I'll do my very best to answer them. Please subscribe to us if you want to see any pedals that you want demoed. If you can suggest anything about the videos, any, you know, you want to see me do something else, you want to see me smile more. It's not pretty. So yeah, let's see what you can give me to do. Right. It's the Thorpy FX Chain Home. 2 thumbs up. Thank you very much. Subscribe. See you soon. Bye bye.